Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die hodling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale, get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die hodling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. FOMO's gone, greed's the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. With the crack in the glass, risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to ape again and again. Buy high, die hodling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. If I crash, at least I tried. In this wild west of blockchain rights. I'll be trading till the lights go out. Shots are noise, but I live for the sound. One candle spike, and I'm back in town. Crypto's a fight, and I'm 10 toes down. Diamond hands with the crack in the glass. Risk it all, no brakes, full gas. But I'll reload, I play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die hodling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale, get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart.
Good morning, guys. What's up? How you guys doing? I know it's looking a little scary right now, but this is a good time to prepare for longs. What we got in the chat? We got Manny Boy. What's up, bro? First one to message this time. We got Coma. What's up? Sterling. How you doing, Sterling? We got Wagner. Mikey. Victor. Peb. Infinite Team. What's up? Shantae. What's up? Brett, Noah. What are we guys doing? Okay, Karma holding strong like a champ. Yeah, Karma's not going to move much from this. It's got, if it does, then it just means more rewards for everyone who's holding, right? Okay. some like the lower liquidity, lower market cap assets are probably getting punished like crazy. I only got about 25 minutes, guys, before I have to go to kickboxing with my wife. But I'll share my trade plan with you. I do want to go over like one small little value area lesson too for anyone who's like new to value areas. Something that we spoke about during this morning's trade hunting call with the community. But let's get into it first. So Bitcoin is obviously dropping. Like we were preparing for it to come down when we got up here. But did we expect this to happen this aggressively? No. We were actually anticipating for us to get a bounce off of this point of control right here at 87,850. And we did get a bounce. And what we were lacking in order for us to jump into the long is the either bullish change of character or the bullish flip. And that would have came if we closed above 88,458. But we failed to close. We failed to even get past the VWAP, right? So the moment we started generating our 15-minute orb this morning on the 15-minute time frame, which was on this doji candle against the point of control, we just didn't stop dropping since, right? So now we've taken, it must have been $500 million in liquidity by now since taking this low. I know that we had at least $300 million resting around here on Binance alone, and that was all taken. Our next high liquidity zone of interest starts at 84,000, but we do have a wick level from back over here in December 18th, where we could come down and get that sweep and return back up, but it would feel awfully awkward if that was the bottom, right? So I'm hoping that we come down and at least take this low at 84K. But if we lose this, guys, if we get a candle body close below like 80, let's see, let me just get the magnet tool out, clean it properly, because this orange box right now is based on a liquidity cluster. But if we get a close below 83,755, then we can have even more of a continuation down to our extreme lows of our range. But there's positives and negatives to this, of course. Like I know emotionally it must suck for some people who might be holding altcoins, especially, or Bitcoins. It's all right for us to come down here. But if we take this low, the positive thing that happens if we do is we take liquidity that can be used as fuel for a return up, and maybe we'll finally break this momentum that began at 97K. Or pretty close to 98K. But what also happens when we take that low is daily structure evolves. So if I go to the daily time frame, we can look at our market structure, and we can see that all of what we're doing right now has been internal between this high at like 107.5 and this low at 80K, right? So all this has been internal. But if we take this low, our strong high is going to evolve to here, and then you'll start seeing some open mouth thumbnails from all YouTube creators when we break this high again, instead of way up here, right? So that's the positive and how it'll evolve our structure and help induce more longer term swing traders sooner rather than later if we were to break this. And then we'd also have the 200-day EMA confluence. And this is all macro picture stuff, but we can prepare for a front run of that potential reversal sooner rather than later. Like hopefully, maybe not today, but we should be consolidating very soon as we get closer and closer to this liquidity, which can be used as exit liquidity to induce a reversal. And the behavior of this drop creates clearance in the order books. We call it fair value gaps, right? If we see fair value gaps, what tends to happen is our reversals are almost as fast as our moves, right? So we have tons of fair value gaps here. So if we get reversal structure, hopefully in the form of like a bullish change of character, if not, maybe like an ascending double bottom, we'll have our key level drawn, and then we will start targeting the valley area low as our first barrier concern. because what could end up happening since we deviated so low below it is we can end up using it as resistance as well as this previous low right here. So I'm hopeful that we get a reversal here, but I won't be upset if we came down to like 80K before we end up getting our reversal instead, right? So these are two amazing areas to prepare for longs, and all we're really lacking right now is structure. We got our positioning, we're almost there, right? We're starting to sweep a previous low from way over here, right? So now it's just about, hopefully we take that liquidity, use it as fuel to bring us back up, and our return back up should be relatively quick. I'm actually kind of hopeful that we get a bit of a pullback first, maybe build some kind of a supply concern so we can use it to induce a range, and then we can use our key level within that range to define our reversal. So now it's just about a matter of like sitting on our hands and waiting. And this is a good time also to identify which alts have relative strength. So if, like, for example, what Koma said, like Karma, right? If you're seeing assets that are slow to drop or not dropping at all, then those are kind of like little hints into telling you where a lot of the interest is in crypto, and it can kind of give you a guide into knowing which ones you should be holding longer term, right? So if you're holding something like some kind of meme coin, and it loses like 40% of its market cap from this small like 4% drop on Bitcoin, that could be telling you something, like not to be like dabbling with that asset, right? And we spoke about Solana and how we were preparing for a drop with it yesterday, and it went beyond what we thought as well. We were anticipating for it to come back down to its value area low, and now we've deviated way below it, right? But we're now at a volume node from down here, and we swept a previous low. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so we're starting to grab liquidity. Remember, like last time we were here, we're starting to see some fractalization with how we performed against a 252-day structural value area low right here, which came from a range like way back here, and it started in like February 2024 and ended around October. But that range has helped us prepare for amazing long opportunities, and we're at that moment now where we should be preparing for some reversal structure to define an entry. And if we look locally, we can see some fractalization suggesting we could have another return back up. Let me just zoom back into the hourly. So here's what I mean by like fractalization. So we're painting similar pictures that we did in the past, basically. So here's the structural value area low. We created supply. We fell down. We came back up. We hit our head off the value area low and the local value area high. And we came down and we got our reversal from there. Same picture being painted. Supply, fast drop down, hit our head off the value area low, and we came down. And now maybe we could prepare for reversal structure. It's not going to match this perfectly because this is an ascending devil bottom. This is a descending one, but descending ones come with more fuel to help drive the price up and more trade participants when we break highs, because normally it starts to induce changes of character that triggers a lot of rule-based traders to jump into a long, especially when you're in a macro value area like this that could potentially drive the price up back to the opposite side of the value area. And we spoke about this a lot, but you always got to be mindful of the macro points of control and the local points of control and the big macro ones at 144 that we got to watch out for like a hawk. But yeah, positioning wise for Solana, this is a great spot to prepare for longs. What we don't want to see have happen is a close below this low right here, this local low, because that will induce a higher time frame break of structure that could drive price down lower. But if we instead get a close back above this wick, we'll have an SFP, and that could be a good format to prepare for a reversal from there. And we just got to watch out for the 122.30 level to act as a form of posing resistance here. So again, yeah, all we're really lacking, we got the positioning on Solana, we got the positioning coming on Bitcoin. We just And we got positioning coming on basic attention token now too, guys. Preparing for like strong reversals. We spoke about Dash yesterday too. Dash being at its local demand zone. What I was hopeful for was a sweep of this low and us for the hold support off of this 50-day EMA, because now the main concern is the 50-day EMA. It could act as a form of resistance based on our current positioning, but if we get acceptance back above it, break this momentum here, break this downtrend momentum, and then close above this high, we would have a bullish change of character here on the hourly and confluence with all that, and we can start seeing us have a trend-based move back up to $85, which is a significant move for a basic attention token that can, from where we currently are, it's about 50%, but from where we're likely going to capture it safely, it could be around like a 44, 45% move, while of course being cautious along the way, right? We got some supply concerns here. We got an hourly order block here. We got our valley area, our previous valley area low here. So we got to take everything one step at a time. We can't assume that this is going to be hit. But at each stage, like one being at 65.73, which is now actually evolved from here to here. This is what we were asking for yesterday. We wanted this to happen so we can get this structure to define a lower key level for our entry. So now it's going to look a little bit something like, if I were to draw pathing again, what we were asking for is a break of this high. We're going to watch out around here. Watch out here for a retest. Here again. And then target here. And this is all based on these horizontal, let's draw horizontal levels here, 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 and well, we have a box zone here, so we can just do this. So all these levels, 65, 54, and around 67, 72, 78, and 85 will be all really strong key levels to watch out for along this journey back up if we confirm it. All we're lacking is that confirmation. We have good structure now. We're just lacking the confirmation. So let's Dash. I know I'm kind of speeding through the TA. I just want to make sure I get this information out to you guys quick. But yeah, Ethereum. It was also a slaughter fest. We had some members jump in on a short. Awesome freaking job, guys. During this drop, we kind of created a supply concern right here. So when we have reversal structure, maybe we'll get something similar to this, like a bullish change of character. But this is a great spot to prepare for longs. Maybe we'll sweep this low first, take some liquidity to use it as fuel to drive the price back up. But yeah, here, a little bit of crunch price action, but we need to see some, like a proper pullback with two candles, define a good key level, take a low, and then we can use that reversal structure to guide us towards the 162-day previous value low at 2,910 in hopes that we break through it and use it as support to give us a continuation and acceptance into a previous value area, right? We get that acceptance, then we can get a target extension back up to 3K again. But yeah, until then, this is going to be boss number one when we do potentially get that reversal structure. So Ethereum, again, looking good for long soon. And this is a good TP level to prepare to take some off the tail for Ethereum. If we don't get reversal structure and we still get continuation structure, like a break of structure coming down, that just tells you to hold your trade a little longer, right? But you get that opposing change of character, I would be taking some or all off the table. Now, basic attention token, why I want to bring this up is because we're preparing for a macro move on it. It's at a 1,168-day valley area low, so a significant key level, and we're at uptrending momentum that started in June 2019. So those two forms of confluence, in combination with the liquidity that we just taken, could be a good driving factor to help bring the price back up to that macro valley area high that we've been ranging in for over like almost 1,200 days now. So it's got some predictability to it, but we still need to make sure that we have the reversal structure in case we lose these key levels. And if we do lose these key levels, then this this token could just die. Not completely, of course, but like it could turn into an asset that has like at least half its market cap. So we can delete this. We kind of already taken that level. We swept it. We didn't, or we closed below it. And we have this level here that we haven't confirmed yet as a sweep. So we need to have this candle close above here, or else we could just end up having continuations down to our macro value area low. So still waiting on that reversal structure. Like we painted the picture as if it could take 30 days, right? There's a lot of time that this could take for this reversal because of the age of the structure and the fact that we're inside like a internal valley areas inside the macro valley area, like this one. If we pull this fixed range volume profile from here to here, right? We were trapped here for about 92 days. I'm expecting for it to be, less time than that. But yeah, from where we currently are to the apex point, it's about 29 days. So don't assume that this is going to be the bottom, but we could have like a bottom that could drive us back up to this, and this will act as a form of supply to help drive price back down. Okay, so that's basic attention token. Yeah, it's a matter of waiting on reversal structure. I'm going to change this so we can only see it. Visibility. So if you ever have something that's noisy in your chart and you want to make it so it's only seen on a certain time frame, what you do is you just click on the tool, double click, you find your visibility, and then you just unselect which time frame you want to be seen on. So now we can only see it on like the hourly or above because I deselected these areas. Okay, let's take a look at the chat, see how you guys are doing. This song makes me want to go degen. That's the stories about a degen getting trapped. Yeah. The Rise Up song we made up before is a little bit more appropriate. I appreciate how you give life. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Sterling. Still in Solana short, preparing to leave if need be. Yeah, Solana. Yeah, we did sweep these lows. This is kind of what we want to see have happen for Solana. Now we just need to see it close. We got 3 minutes left on this hourly candle to confirm this as a SFP, right? And this is a double SFP, guys. We're sweeping this low as well. So taking a good liquidity, and that would be a really good exit warning, by the way. If you're in a short on Solana, we could come down between the confirmation point and the invalidation point a little bit, but this should be a big early warning sign to tell you to take some off the table if you're in a short on Solana. Not financial advice, but that's definitely something that I would do. Because the technical target for this SFP, like if you're being conservative, it's right here, right? And acceptance into that value area could extend your target right to the value area high again at 127. So this is a good long opportunity coming up for SFP traders. An hourly SFP is pretty significant. But what you could do is when you wait for that hourly SFP to close, it's a really healthy practice when you have a high time frame SFP, like a daily or hourly or a 4-hour, is to dissect the price action, right? You could see your invalidation point. You could adopt that as your stop loss, but when you dissect stuff, you can be looking at maybe like the 5-minute or the 15-minute and wait for structural confluence within that time frame, right? So we have the 5-minute, for example, this being a proper pullback, right? And a close above here would give us a bullish change of character. So if you want that extra sense of security on your hourly SFP, you'd have your stop loss here, and then you just wait for a close above here. It will sacrifice some of your profits, but in exchange for a higher probability win, right? And the pathing for Solana along the way up would be, your concerns would be that value area low at 121.74 and the VWAP, which is currently at 120.93. So this could induce a pullback. It might not get you knocked out of the race, but it could help develop posture for you to be able to identify the buyer's momentum, right? And if you start seeing an opposing change of character, then just get out and look for a new setup. All right, so I would mark this as a key level. We have ours way up here right now. That was never taken, unfortunately, but that's why you wait for those confirmations so you don't get eaten alive if certain situations like this happen. All right, Solana's looking healthy. Ethereum's a little crunchy. It's tough to identify like your key levels right now, unless you really dissect things in the lower time frames. Like the 5-minute looks pretty clean. Same kind of posture as Ethereum. Not Ethereum, Solana. Double bottom, descending double bottom, break. Watch your VWAP. Watch your 5-minute order block. That's in line with the 162-day value area low at 2,910. So a good key level here. If I were to draw pathing and what I would expect behavior to look like. What I don't like about Ethereum is that we didn't take these lows. Whereas Solana did. So just remember the fact that Ethereum has what's called like pairing liquidity with Solana. So if Ethereum wants to take these lows, it could draw Solana down lower. So just be aware of that before you jump in on any setups. That the chain, the on-chain influence, the pairing influence goes from Bitcoin to Ethereum, and then to assets that have a lot of pairing liquidity with Ethereum, like Solana. So as Bitcoin moves, it moves Ethereum. As Ethereum moves, it moves Solana. All simultaneously, with or without buyers, because of the pairing and liquidity effect. That in itself is a whole other lesson, but I can definitely go over that with you guys when I have more time. Or you can do some research. All right, so yeah, basic attention. Dash, sorry, just got this good sweep. Good key level here. Looking good. Basic attention token. How are we doing macro wise? Yeah. And Bitcoin's just chilling. Bitcoin finally took that low. We're in the 45-minute time frame. Like, its posture isn't as clean as the alts that we were looking at. So if Bitcoin consolidates here, the attention might rotate to some altcoins like Solana and Ethereum and Dash. Is that daily VWAP or anchored? This is the daily. Yeah, the only anchored VWAP that I would personally be using in this scenario is maybe the trend-based one from the high right here. So you can get an anchored VWAP set up from here. So you can use it as confluence to understand like a stronger base reversal, but this will be front run, and mainly you'll be watching this as a form of resistance currently. You can anchor it to the macro high, you can anchor it to the month, you can anchor it to the year, and they all act as really good forms of confluence for traders. Anchored VWAPs is not something that I personally use very much in my trading rules, just because of the fact that I do a lot of my trades in a range. Unless it's a large range like this, it's not as helpful sometimes for me. Really, it's just about understanding like my positioning, where liquidity is, and then looking for breaks of momentum in confluence with structural evidence of support or resistance. And that the structure will be enough for me to identify what's going on. The daily right now is sweeping this as a daily internal SFP. That'll be interesting to see if that confirmed, because that will come with a target of this high up here at 90K. So this will be a good thing to watch today, guys. See how this daily candle closes. If we close below this wick, then it means trouble. We could be coming down lower. If we close above it, it means we could have more confluence for the reversal back up. Okay. 15-minute order block. Okay, so that could help induce structure. We need stuff like this to occur, to induce pullbacks and generate good key levels. So I'm hoping that maybe this order block could give us a good defined structure, give us a pullback, take the low again, and then we'll have a good key level here to repair. Maybe we'll front run it, but it'll be a good key level in general to prepare for the initial pullback reaction. In the 5-minute, it looks like a form of supply. 15 minutes, just clear order block. So if I were to draw pathing, what I'm preparing for, based on what we're seeing right now, This is our order block. Send back. Pathing, come up. Mitigate the 15-minute order block. Come back down, take the low, and that will generate a good key level here. Didn't mean to click that often there. But it would be nice if we took this liquidity. So it would feel like a lot of traders would feel like they're trading on a glass floor if this liquidity down here isn't taken. There's millions of dollars resting here, guys. And that was induced by these lows back here in the form of liquidations and stop losses. Let's go back to the hourly. So we got liquidity that began here at this low at 83,755. But it was more of it was stacked during this moment, right? A lot more people use higher leverage trade setups. If they're still in here, there's lots of liquidity here to be taken before help. It can be used as fuel to help drive the price up. Institutions, market makers, whales use those levels to get in with the least amount of slippage possible. So just a matter of kind of hoping for us to be able to use them as a tool to help drive the price up. Then retail usually follows. Okay. All right, guys, I do have to go, unfortunately. I really, really appreciate you guys jumping in. I've got to go kickboxing with my wife. Super excited. We're getting ready to get our next belt on Saturday. And then tomorrow is the giveaway. We're giving away a $6,000 account to Klein Funding. I'm also going to give away $100 worth of karma. I'm going to buy some karma for you guys, and then I will airdrop it to the winner. So anyone who's able to jump in tomorrow's live, all you'll have to do is type the word giveaway in the comment section. I got the system fixed, so you guys will be able to participate properly and won't be just be a member giveaway thing. Kyle, do you think Michael Saylor is crying right now? I'm crying a little bit inside. Like every $1,000 Bitcoin drops, I lose 40 grand in my portfolio. It's not realized, of course, but yeah, Michael Saylor, no, I don't think he's crying right now. I need it, unless there's something significant that happened that I don't know about, but that guy thinks about, he's thinking 10 years ahead of time right now. He's not thinking about the 4% drop that just occurred, right? This is not that big. The 4% from the loss of the point of control, right? That guy's average is much lower than this. He accumulates weird. I find that sometimes he accumulates in really bad spots, but I can imagine if like I'm not saying that I could do better, but I could probably do it better. Like some of the buy zones just don't make sense. Like I should get a value area trader in there. All right, guys, you have a great day. Reach out to me in the Discord if you need any help with anything. I appreciate you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. I know today was a quick live. I just want to get the information out there with the time that I did have. This is a day that a lot of people tend to freak out, but this is a great opportunity, guys. Preparing for that structure to give a reversal. If you're in the community, I'll give a signal as to when I jump into a long. It should take, a few hours for us at least to generate some kind of key level for us to focus on. And maybe we'll be able to front run that key level through like an SFP or lower time frame structure. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's great longs coming up soon. All right, see you guys. You have a great day. Thanks for watching.